Hi, welcome back to my channel. Antoinette here. I figured as we are now entering, we are mid-May, heading towards the end of May, I would do what's happened a year into my super journal. So this is my big fat Elrohir leather journal that I purchased last year as a birthday present to myself, and changed up some of my practices and filled it with some very large books and journals. You've seen snippets and sneak peeks into this, but I decided to let go of the protectiveness and my own kind of ego about whether I'm good enough to show these things, and hopefully inspire you with some of the stuff I've done and maybe encourage you to just go with your own flow too. Can't speak highly enough of this particular journal. The leather, the size, the quality, everything. It's handmade and it's beautiful. It's so thick and it's got pockets. I don't use it nearly as much as it deserves to be used, but I love it and it's really cute to have on my shelf. Plus the whole point to this was I could collect multiple journals and just leave it on the side. Nobody needs to know what's in here, and I can carry it around with me, you know, out to the garden, have all my journals to hand. What goes in here swaps and changes, however, so that whole idea of all my journals being to hand in here changes with the wind, like my own opinions and things. So I did have my tarot journal in here, but I discovered that my decks weren't carryable with them. So I took my tarot journal out and swapped a few things in and out, and I continue to do so. That practice continues. So I have my art journal in here. And I'm actually going to let you see where we got to with this, because I have noticed a year into this, using this complete journal setup, my practice changes with the seasons quite a bit. And I'm sure some of you might have the same thing, or you might have found the same thing with yourselves. But so this is my art journal. I started this probably 2 years ago, actually, seriously trying to improve my own kind of workings. And I have some old sketches from like way back in the early 2000s from myself and my partner, and some that I've covered over, and some I've left in here just for fun, to remind me of, you know, some fun times and some fun memories for us. And then we have like my very first attempt at coming back into the art world, drawing and using colour. Never did colour. So we had things like this, and then this is my very first ever kind of collage piece where I used magazine pieces, stickers, scribbling, writing, wording to create a piece of art. Same thing here. And I was always kind of embarrassed, ashamed that I wasn't very good. But you know, it's the magic is within playing. I'm afraid to show playing pages. I mean, I think as an adult that's just such a silly thing, and whilst I'm embracing my whole shadow self as well, do you know, playing, expressing, experimenting is such a big part of who I am that I don't know why I hide it to appear that sort of perfect person. So for those of you who like to play and journal and are scared or don't know how to or where to start, this might help you. This is just magazine covers and then colouring over with bits of pen and drawing over other people. Finding words for inspiration. So love is my religion. Be open to love. Love who you are. Choose to shine. Leave a little sparkle wherever you go. Finding your inner witch. So there's my inner air witch. Choose your thoughts wisely. If you can dream it, you can become it. And there we go, dreaming of magical things. So letting myself just go, playing with marks on a page. Finding my inner moon child. Now lots of these drawings, these types of drawings are from inspiration taken from Tamara at willowingart.org, I think it is. And some of these are, if I can find her channel, I'll link it, but I've kind of lost it. It's come off my favourites. I don't know where it's gone. but there's a lovely Australian lady who does like page journals, quick journal pages, and this is where these types of journaling comes from. And this one actually, Take Time to Smell the Roses, was based on the temperance card, and I started putting in keywords to go with temperance. So we've got temperance, balance, fusion, melding. I think the idea was that I was going to write them across all of my roses. So this page isn't actually finished. This is one that I can come back to time and time again. Willowing and Friends, there we go. Tamara Laporte is the lady. And rather interestingly, I purchased her course of art tutorials this year, and I haven't done anything with them. I haven't touched them. I just haven't had time. So we have Focus on Love. Marks on a page. This started out playing with one colour in different pens. So it happened to be this sort of, I don't know what you call it actually, fuchsia-y, pinky lilac-y colour that I had in biros, pens, metallics, felt tips, and that was my markings on the page. And then over time I've brought in a different shade of pink, and then I've brought in blue. It's just creating lots and lots of marks, getting comfortable doing that on the page and not feeling like you've created rubbish. So remember, you can flourish and thrive. Then we have my angel. So she is all the things. So allowing yourself to run free. Not being afraid because everything is okay. It's good to laugh. Feel with your heart. So lots of kind of good, solid grounding words to help nourish yourself when you're having a bad day. We have my Slavic solstice tradition here, and I have this jar that I made to go with this. So this was the jar that I made to go with the Slavic solstice tradition, where you do 12 nights of Yule. I think I spoke about this in previous videos last year, and basically made my little jar. You create 12 wishes or manifestations that you would like to bring into your life. They could be wild and frivolous, and they can be obviously sensible ones. And you put them in here, and then each night you do a little ritual to work with them. And I put a piece of fluorite in there, banded fluorite, just to bring clarity to my wishes. And as you can see, this jar has also been used for other things. Moon water. And then with the 13th wish that doesn't get, you don't use in ritual, the one that's left behind, you create a piece of art and then you stick it onto it. So that's this one here. So that's the one that basically you create as a goal, and then you do things to see if you can bring that goal into life through your manifestations, whereas the others you trust and give out to the world, and if they're meant to come back to you, they will, and if they aren't, then they don't. So that's just a little tradition there with the 12 nights of Yule. Here we go. Make lemonade and smile. So this is just another page of sort of enjoy the journey, make it count, and make great memories on the way to share with others, because wishes can come true. Just collaging. And we have another fairy angel type person here. Adventure awaits for you. Have an open heart. Live your dream with passion. The journey is the destination, and be open to whatever comes next. Obviously these little words come from some stickers, and I just create sentences or phrases, meanings with them. Here we have the colourful birds, my owls, just having fun. They are inspired by work by Tamara Laporte, so they're not just my own personal individuals. That's a couple of pages stuck together there, isn't it? Yes, it is. And then this is as far as I've got into here, to be honest. I was bouncing up and down the pages, drawing different things at different points, and then leaving blank pages and coming back to them. And then this is where, I think that's it. Yeah, so this is where I've got to, and this is the word, my word of the year. So I did this back in January, and I haven't drawn since January. For various reasons, really. But that's okay. I'm not going to kill myself about it, but it's just interesting to see that everything kind of stood still. So there's parts of time in my life where certain things don't inspire me or come into my routine. So I found that curious. I can see why perhaps I might draw colour more in the darker months, because why not? There's nothing else to do. But yeah, so I found that interesting. So I haven't touched this for 4 or 5 months now. Who knows, maybe this month coming into Gemini season I'll start picking up the pen. So back into my actual book. I haven't changed out the book that I was working on either in here. This has been in here for probably about 9 months, I think. Because I had my Sun Magic book in here, and then I put this one in afterwards when I finished with it at the end of the season. And I haven't really done a lot with this. I haven't had time to delve into it. This is more a book that, you know, you're going to use as a reference book. You're going to nip in and out of when you want to know about different types of herbs, what you can do with them, what their properties are. But my plan was to make my notes on this book, so I have my own personal keynotes. And of course that's where my study journal was coming in for books. And again with this, I haven't done much more of this. I'm trying to keep a note of books that I'm listening to either on audio, which I've got down here. And to be honest, my life is so busy, audiobooks have been more my life than actually being able to pick up a book and read it, unless it's a reference book, again, because I need to find something. So we had from here YouTube, Suki Baxter, Whole Body Revelation, How to Release Trauma Stored in the Body. So we've got some stuff there and some places that she was sending us. And there we have the Sun Magic book from the Pagan Portals series by Rachel Patterson, published by Moonbooks, that I was talking about. We did the Witchcraft book by her. We had the Hoodoo Magic book by her, and Folk Magic in Britain. And then just some pages that I might like to reference to come back to. Here we have the World of Magical Plants and Herbs. I've left 2 pages to write out either pages I want to come back to for things or about the herbs. So we'll see what comes from there. We have the audiobook Matthew McConaughey, Green Light. That book is brilliant. So I've actually started listening to it again. It's filled with humour, truths. It's quite honest and candid. And he has a fascinating way of narrating his life story. And the book is narrated by him as well. So it's just, if you haven't, I recommend it. I do highly recommend Green Light. It's had me laugh out loud. Where I've been sat on the bus with my earbuds in, listening, you know, I haven't been able to stop on some occasions, because some of his situations, although his life is very different to mine, there have been situations around perhaps discipline from his parents that have been similar to mine. And it's those instances where, you know, you think you're the only person in the world that experienced this, and then somebody actually narrates and tells the story, and it cracked me up. We have the Cornish Book of Ways by Gemma. I was starting to write about midday and obios, and as you can see, that's as far as I got, because they're audiobooks, not books that I can actually touch and go back and forward to and make notes as it goes. So it's quite hard making notes on audiobooks, I have found, if I'm using them as reference. So that didn't quite work for me, so we'll have to see. I read or listened to The Glamourist by Luann G. Smith, magical fiction. Really enjoyed that book, actually. So it's about a vine witch that wants to become, I can't remember what type of witch she wants to become, but basically she wants to follow her parents' heritage and become what they were, which is working with poisonous herbs and things. But turns out there's a whole council around that, and you can't just do such things. So that's really interesting, how it kind of intermingles magical workings into the sort of politics we experience today, and boundaries that we have enforced upon us in our own real lives. And then we have The Age of the Witches, which again, magical fiction by Louisa Morgan. That was a really good book. Really enjoyed listening to that one. Not so much the author or the narrator, however, because she puts on these really weird voices. Like, there's this weird crone type voice, which I just find annoying. But the content of the book, really enjoyed. So that's just a by the by. I haven't done that. What have I discovered? I need hard books for reference books. I can't use audiobooks. As far as wanting to make notes about these books, to be honest, if I hadn't had these notes here about The Glamourist and you showed me, I would recognise the cover, so I'd know I'd read the book, yes. Could I tell you about the book? No, I'd have to read the back and then I could probably jog my memory to tell you. But do you know what? It's okay. It's okay to not remember these books because they're kind of irrelevant in your life. I see people on YouTube beating themselves up about it and writing these massive reading logs, diaries. I think that's probably where I got this idea that I needed to keep some kind of study journal for books, YouTubes, online classes, and things that I've read to jog my memory. But you know what? Doesn't matter. I don't need it. That's quite a releasing thing to be able to say. My book of everything random. So my practice changed, if I haven't already said that, and I brought in a different journal because I needed to track some health things for me. And in this journal, which is the Cycles journal, it is a female-centered book, and it's specifically for what it says, cycles and tracking your health and other things that go with it, along with the moon as well, just by chance, which is one of the other reasons why I was pulled to it. And in here we have sleep, care and dreams. So in there I've been able to, because this is one of the first books I come to in the morning, quickly jot down what it was that was going through my mind in my dreams. So they've been going into here. I do need to come back to this and have a look through and put them back into here, because this one just allowed me to see. So the significant dreams that I remembered, I was writing into here, along with synchronicities and other things that was going on in my life. So we have my dreams, songs, words and lyrics that keep popping into my mind, numbers that were reoccurring, words that just kept popping into my head, roads and things. So I think I might have talked about this one. So 22 Hong Kong Road. I have no idea what that means. I had a message saying Adrian won't be alone. Turned out to be somebody I know that was their dad, potentially. So yeah, I haven't been writing down the lyrics actually. I have had a song going through my head for days now. I ought to put that in here, but I bet you, now I've said it, I won't remember it. With regards to my dreams, this was quite useful for the prominent ones, the poignant ones. But I haven't added to this since November, end of November. So again, 4 or 5 months where I haven't put into here. And that shows because that journal's been in play. So it shows then that that one's got it. This one hasn't had it put in. But there are some dreams I need to put into here because there's some that happen, or some kind of reoccurring themes that happen around the same time every year. And I've got 2 years worth of dreams in here, or had 2 years worth of dreams in here. So I need to come back to that. Handwriting. My handwriting's shocking. I know that. Don't really practice much. Life is too busy. So that's okay. And then we have my seasonal journal. So let's take this out and let's have a look. Because again, with this, I have noticed that my practice changes and it's dependent on the time of year. Okay, so it's my Coralline Journal, which you get on Amazon. I think this is a great way of studying the year around you, and that's what that's the whole point to this. So this was me just looking at what's going on around me throughout the year, and I started it on the summer solstice. So end of June, very end of June, you know, last 10 days of June. And in here we've got, you know, working with the solar energies, artwork that's already in the book, like summer solstice, Letha, St. John's Day, ideas for working with solar energies, things that I can do, making rituals, how my day looks when I am actually celebrating the summer solstice, which I quite like because that's my sort of ritual day. And then we have July, so I put in July. I don't do a lot for July, but it was July in the world around me rather than the magical workings of July. So that was one thing that I did start doing, was trying to record the world around me for each month. And things that I might do in that month. So here we made some salt protections. And then I've left pages, a couple of pages in each section if I can, to come back. So it's not like I've finished it that year. I can come back year after year and add to it and where things change. And again, we have August, so things pertinent to August. Sparkling floral honey nectar, how to make it. So we have recipes. And the world around me, my personal world around me in August, what's going on in my garden, what's going on with the moons, and all that sort of things in here, and some pages to come back to. We have September, which is the autumn equinox, Mabon, and also the second harvest of the year. So how that kind of feels, other names around for Mabon, some notes about it, and the world around me, my garden around me, and what's going on around, you know, my general life in September. And then again, pages to come back to. October, this one's a big section, and I didn't get as far into this as I thought I was going to get, given that it's my favourite month. So we know it's the blood moon, so words about October, other names for the season. My favourite decoration of the kitchen so far for an October, and what I used, things that I do in October, so like carving pumpkins and turnips, to create jack-o'-lanterns, simple crafts that I've done throughout October's, protection jars if I make them, put them together. And then I've left pages that I can put in recipes, because I do have big parties in October for Halloween. So I can put in the recipes, the punches, the foods, and anything else that we might do or burn on the bonfire, because we always have a fire outside as well. And then plenty of pages here for me to add to the laws and superstitions around Halloween as well. So that's going to be nice to see. That's probably going to take 3 years for me to fill that section. Here we have November, and the fact that in November we have All Saints' Day, All Souls' Day, and Guy Fawkes Night. We have Armistice Day and Mischief Night as well. So just writing a bit about the days that I know the most about here. So we've got Mischief Night, Guy Fawkes Night, or Bonfire Night, Armistice Day, and then I chose to, I've explained this before, write a page there about my history of my grandparents from Estonia. And I lost my gran this year actually on 2nd of April. We had her funeral just a couple of days ago on the 9th of May. So probably time I finished that one up. I have my anniversary, so I think it's 28 years this year in November. So I've got that coming up, and what we do, things that we like to do, things that we can like pick and choose from to create a ritual. So we don't do the same thing every single year, but we choose something, or we do some of these things every year. So I quite like that. And then some pages again to add to recipes, foods, you know, meals change, things that you like to eat. Here we have December. So we started writing about December, or I started writing about December. And obviously December the 5th is Krampus Night. The 25th, Christians renamed and reclaimed as Christmas. The 24th was Christmas Eve, celebrated in Eastern Europe and Baltic countries with big feasts. So that is basically, the 24th is a big day of Christmas across Europe. And when I say Baltic countries, I'm also talking about my heritage, Estonia. And we have the 12 Nights of Yule, where it begins, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, around there. Our winter solstice, and of course the meteorological winter starts on the 1st of December. And just how I like to kind of spend my winters. So winters I do like head into the Haig or Hygge kind of season. Ways for celebrating with crafts and other things that you can do that's not massive in energy output. And then I've got this beautiful card here from the Flickering Cauldron. So it's a Christmas card that I gifted to somebody in the house, and I've kept it in here as a bookmark. So then we get to January. So that was as far into December as I got. And then that gives you a hint, okay? January, February, March, April, May, and I think I've probably got a space back here where I can put the start of June before I get to the solstice in. Yeah, there's another one back there, so I can put a June in down here. And that again speaks volumes. That tells me that I don't do a lot of journaling in here once we pass through January. This year's been a bit different because I've had I started a new job in September, and it's taken a lot of my mental power, because it's been quite involved. It's had a lot of on-call weekends, so that has really eaten a lot of my brain power as well, and my energy. So this might start to change once I'm kind of a year in. So you never know, perhaps in September this year I might get my like second wind and complete everything. or get myself more up to date. But yeah, that's where I am with this kind of diary. And with this moon that we had here in Scorpio, the learning to release, relax, chill, not panic has been really quite nice, to put it bluntly, and the fact that I haven't had to worry about where I'm up to. But that's just so you know. So that's one of the art books from Tamara Laporte that I've been using to draw from, because it's an inspiration book with lessons in here. I'm not sure if this is where I got my owls from, actually. It might be. Yeah, there you go. That's where I get my owls from. So if you're looking for a kind of inspiration book for fun and multimedia, mixed media, that might be the book for you. It might not be, but she's got a YouTube channel, so Willowing Art, I believe, or look up Tamara Laporte and you'll find her. She's on Facebook as well anyway. But yeah, she does some great kind of multimedia stuff, and I find it quite fun to follow along to. Right. On this Wednesday, I hope you're all having a lovely day, and I'm going to kind of relax, chill out, have a cup of tea and enjoy the rest of my day. So for the rest of you, take care. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.